This is likely to be a very brief video. In fact, I wasn't even going to make a video today because there's some personal stuff going on in my life right now that I'm possibly never going to get into on this channel, because I think that even if you're someone who's very open about your life online, and even if you talk a lot about personal things as maybe a daily vlogger or something, you still deserve to have some semblance of privacy. I have never been someone who believes that just because you become any kind of public figure, or even if you have a small following like myself, even if you just, happen to put yourself out there online, that you just deserve no privacy. But there's something that I've been seeing lately that I wanted to commentate on, and that is the fact that I know this has been going on for a lot longer than just now, but I'm noticing a huge influx in larger sized, like million plus especially, channels on YouTube doing sponsorships with various stock exchange apps and websites. Things like Coinbase and what was the other one called? Public, I think. There's a few of them that are working alongside various influencers to try to get people to come to their platform to buy and sell stocks or micro stocks. And I noticed a huge influx of this once Doge took off. And I am someone who, ever since I learned about it in high school, has been interested in the stock market. I think the way it works is very interesting. I think that the way it influences so much in the economy is interesting. I've only just kind of invested small amounts. I've never been someone who, kind of relies on the market to make me financially comfortable. It's just one of those things for me where I'm like, well, if I make some money, cool. And if not, whatever, it's extra money. That's all it is for me. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is that I don't think that any of these influencers who are doing these sponsorships are bad people. I think that they're just doing their jobs, which is to create videos and to pick up money wherever they can. YouTube's algorithm is a million levels of crazy lately, like even more so than usual, it seems. So it's been kind of difficult for some people to be monetized. So if you can't be monetized on YouTube, your money is probably going to come from a sponsorship. Totally understandable. And I'm sure that right now, a lot of sponsorships are coming from these apps and these platforms, because Doge is still doing fairly well. It's got its, dips and rises, just like any other cryptocurrency, but it's still doing well enough that people are pretty excited by it, and they're all buying or saying, don't sell your stock, and everything's still, it's still just as intense as it was the day that it first flew off. And so because it's what's popular right now, that is what people are going to be sponsoring, selling, however you want to put it. I do think that it's good to understand how the stock market works and how cryptocurrency works. I don't think that we're anywhere near the era where cryptocurrency is going to completely take over all forms of currency, and that's just what everyone's going to pay with. But it is getting increasingly more popular. There are a lot of things online, some of which I can't mention in YouTube videos, that only accept cryptocurrency. And especially right now with, the pandemic going on, a lot of people are spending a vast majority of their time online rather than in their, quote, real life, because there's not a lot to do right now. Most people are still at least semi in some kind of quarantine or self-isolation so that they, slow the spread and everything. On one hand, we're lucky that this happened in the era of the internet, because we have pretty much endless entertainment options, and we can still kind of see each other and talk to each other as often as we want for the most part. But at the same time, then you have things like this happen. And as much as I support anyone on YouTube who's working hard to create content and get it out to people, getting money however they can, I do wish that channels that did not generally discuss things like cryptocurrency and the stock market would either not accept those sponsorships, or if they absolutely need to, because that's the only way they're getting money right now, which again, totally understand, I wish they would do an entire video surrounding it before accepting the sponsorship. So instead of everyone just learning about this app that they're sponsored by at the end of a video, I wish they would sit down for like 5-10 minutes and just be like, I know this isn't normally the type of sponsorship that I get here, but this is why I'm choosing to be sponsored by this platform right now, and here are the ins and outs of it. Because even if you sit there and tell your audience, okay, listen, the stock market and all this cryptocurrency stuff, it's not to be fooled with, you need to be careful, or you could lose out on a lot of money, or you could accidentally put yourself in financial harm, really make sure you understand it. Even if you really try to drill that home, people still see you as an influencer. They're still influenced by what you do and what you say. When they see someone they admire and they aspire to be like, saying, I'm investing through this app or through this platform and I really, enjoy it, it's doing great things for me, some people will automatically sign up for it without even thinking that much. They'll maybe look at a couple of different web pages, get their information from that, say that's good enough, and then just take off with it. And that's kind of scary to me. It's scary to me that people who just happen to admire a certain person online could end up accidentally putting themselves in financial harm right now during a time when there's an economic crisis and a lot of people on the whole already aren't doing very well. It scares me that they could end up putting what little money they have into it because they're desperate. They're hoping somehow they get that influx that Doge gave people and that they get that financial help that they have been waiting for, that they've been desperately needing because the $600 stimulus wasn't enough. The $1,200 stimulus wasn't enough. They need more to pay their rent. They need more to pay for their hospital bills. There are people who are desperate. I would already be a little critical of people accepting these sponsorships on the whole at any other time, but I'm especially critical now because of how desperate people are for any little penny they can get from anything. And that's why I think that the influence behind cryptocurrency buying and selling is even more intense than ever right now, because people are just looking for any way to make that extra money. So please, any influencer who maybe might ever see this, although I doubt it, before deciding that you're going to be sponsored by any kind of cryptocurrency or stock market type app or platform, please, I'm begging you, talk to your audience first, teach them the ins and outs to the best of your ability, and maybe even wait to be sponsored by these platforms until after the economic crisis is over, because you don't want to accidentally be even partially responsible for someone going into even further debt because they saw that you made money off of it and now they're hoping they'll make money off of it and they're just desperate. But I know this is probably going to be unpopular, like pretty much every video on my platform. But it's just something I thought needed to be said. And, like I said, don't take it personally. I don't hate any of these people. I'm still watching them on a daily basis. But I think you should be able to criticize things that you like. That's just a genuine, honest way of enjoying different people on this platform. You need to be critical of them as well as admiring them. So just keep this in mind. And if you are someone who has seen an influencer talking about a cryptocurrency trading app or something, please take a course in it before deciding whether or not you're going to sign up, because you really need to make sure that you fully understand every in and out of it so that nothing bad happens to you. But that being said, do something that makes you happy today, no matter what anyone thinks about it. And I'll see all of you again